going back to the normal days of my life. Today I'll be talking about the assessment process here in the UK, especially for the university that I'm going, that is the University of Birmingham. To give a brief introduction about UOB, UOB is ranked 76th in the world globally, and it is ranked 11th here in the UK. If I'm not wrong, you can check the statistics. And so for the semester 1, at least I have assignments as my assessment. Yeah, it is very different as I did back in India. We have 70 marks for exam and 10 marks for assignment and 20 for internal written exam again, but here I had to write an entire 100 marks as an assessment, which is in a form of assignment, if that is not very confusing. And don't be like, okay, it's just assignment, we can do it. Don't think like that, because if I'm going to reveal something, then I failed my first assignment, because writing an assignment here is not easy, because it's like writing and a research paper. So if you are given a specific topic, then you have to do quality research about it. You have to cite it properly, and you have to reference those resources that you have used properly according to the guidelines mentioned on your assignment rules. So for UOB, at least for my school and college, that is School of Government and College of Social Sciences, we are strictly told to use the Harvard referencing, so we use that one. I didn't even know what was Harvard referencing, because we are not taught, at least at the college that I used to go for undergrad, we are not taught these things, because during my undergrad, my assessments are mostly focused on the rote learning method of education, that is, give your exams, get marks, that's it. You're not taught such things, so I had to learn everything from A to Z. I started my master's here. So we use this app Canvas to upload assignments, to access the resources that are uploaded by our professors and mentors. If you want to save time and do a proper and good referencing, then I will suggest you use the website MyBib, which is a full form of My Bibliography. It will arrange the resources or the references that you're using automatically in alphabetical order, and it saves a lot of time. You don't need to do it, and you can also choose the type of referencing you like, whether it be APA, Harvard, or any type. Always do and search for quality resources when you're writing an assignment. Don't just encode properly if you are extracting a particular line or a word from the resource, because it might lead to plagiarism, and plagiarism is a very risky thing. It might not just kick you out from your course, but it might revoke you from entering into the country, so it's a very serious thing, so be careful of that one. Or you might be called for an academic integrity meeting, which you will be interviewed by the board members for committing plagiarism, and it is a serious offence here, so don't do that one. And for using the resources, you can always refer to Google Scholar for starters, and you can, for my subject, that is international relations, you can use sites such as the reports which are published, reports or articles which are published by UN, WHO, and Financial Times. I just got to know from my professor that during your university days, you got free subscription for Financial Times. So take up that advantage. The conversation, these are some of the quality resources where you can use it, or you can read the articles which is published by your professor or mentor if it's relevant to the case study that you are taking. So, okay, I remember something when I talk about case study. If the question is like, say suppose I wrote an essay, recently I wrote an essay on the topic, compare and contrast the spiral model and the deterrence theory using a case study of your choice. So the question is like, you have to choose a case study, and here is a tricky part. If they have already assigned you what is the case study that you are going to do the research on, then it's easy because you already know that a case study is relevant to the theory that you are going to apply or use. But if the question is like, use a case study of your choice, then you have to choose a case study that is relevant to the theory that you are going to use. Say suppose if you're going to use deterrence theory and spiral model, then you have to choose a case study that where deterrence theory and spiral model can be applied with the right reason, can be backed up with evidences from the case study. So I made a mistake on my first assignment where I chose the Cuban Missile Crisis, which my professor said that it was okay, but it does not signify or that much of it does not it is not that much relevant to the two theories that I'm going to write for in my essay. So she suggested me to use the Korean Civil War of 1950-53, and I did that one. And I'm also really proud to say that for my 75% assessment, I wrote about the ethnic conflict that recently happened in 2023 between the two tribal groups, that is the Meiteis and the Kukis. So I come from a state called Manipur. That is the ethnic conflict that happened on my state, and I wrote an essay on that. And hurrah for my first semester on the module of contemporary perspectives on conflict, where I wrote about my state. I bagged 65% mark, which is merit mark here,